Hi everybody and welcome to my first weekly update. I'm hoping these videos will share some insight into what I do during my day job and outside of work and kind of share some knowledge in a different format. I traditionally am not really comfortable standing talking in front of a camera. I can do public speaking without any problems nowadays, but speaking to a camera is a bit of a challenge for me, so I'm hoping that this will help me, this wee project will help me get better at that, and it will also teach me some extra skills like audio and video editing and stuff like that. So any feedback or advice, please do hit me up. I'd love to hear it. A quick disclaimer to start off this video: my employer is Microsoft, but any views or opinions in these videos are entirely my own and don't reflect theirs. So yeah, this morning I've got some notes, I've got a cup of coffee, and I'm going to talk you through what I've been doing this week. It's been quite a quick week, it's been quite busy, and it's quite refreshing actually to look back and see what I've achieved. I'm sure you've all felt that Friday feeling where you go, I haven't really tackled my to-do list, but when you look back and reflect, you have, and I'm having that feeling this morning as well. So this week started off where I was working with a colleague and we worked on building a lab in Azure. So it was a Hyper-V lab with some VMs that tried to replicate an on-premise environment. Now, I'd written some instructions on how to do this, but it was actually good to get some feedback from a colleague on whether those instructions made sense and anything that I had assumed or was missing. So I've been able to take her feedback and feed it back into the documentation. And then we went to the customer meeting and showed them how to use Azure Migrate to assess and migrate their workloads into Azure. For those of you that maybe follow me on Twitter or on my blog, you'll know that Azure Migrate is one of my favourite tools. I really enjoy the fact that we have a tool that is free, that can assess and help you migrate your workloads into Azure and give you that easy kind of path, if you like, into the migration. Version 2 of the product launched in July and gave us the capabilities of being able to assess Hyper-V and VMware environments, and then you can migrate it, your Hyper-V or VMware environments or physical environments into Azure using it as well. So it's quite a capable tool, and as I say, it's free, so it's really quite good. However, we do miss at the moment the ability to assess physical machines with Azure Migrate. So that's when we try to leverage some of the third-party tools that are now integrated into Azure Migrate as well. So I was doing some digging for the customer. They've got quite a large physical estate still that they want to look at migrating. So I did some research onto the third-party tools as to how these tools assess the physical machines and what are the kind of prerequisites for each tool and what are the licensing requirements for each tool as well. So that's been quite interesting to do some research on that and understand the tooling capabilities and advantages and disadvantages of each of them. I think overall my opinion was that they all do much the same. So they'll all give you a very good report in terms of what your physical estate looks like, performance data, how you would migrate that, costing, etc. All the things you need to make that good business case to migrate your workloads. Some of them had some challenges around how they did the assessments. So some used a lot of typical ports, you would say. So, you know, your SNB, your SNMP, your trying to think, SSH for some of your Linux boxes. But in complex networks, that can be quite tricky. Your firewalls, the way you've segregated networks, etc., can make trying to use these discovery tools that use ports quite challenging. So some of the tools have agent-based assessments, which again can be a bit of a challenge to install these agents onto each server. But in terms of communication, they only require a port. They only require port 443 back out to push that information. So in terms of networking and communications, the agent base for some of these toolings was actually easier than the agentless. So that was quite interesting learning, and I've made some new contacts as well. So all in all, I think it was actually a quite good wee exercise about that and how to do that migration. So yeah, I really enjoyed that, and I appreciate all the time that the people took to educate me on their third-party tools. So yeah. I'm trying to debate whether to write a blog about that and do so more detailed. I don't want to create a kind of unconscious bias by assuming things or share my knowledge of tools I've only learned about and not used in real life. But yeah, if anybody has any questions or would like to see some kind of blog like that, then please do let me know, and I'll try and work on a way of sharing that knowledge in an unbiased way. So yeah, that was quite a big chunk of my week at the start. Something else I've been working on, so next month there's a Women in Tech event happening in Edinburgh on the 3rd of September, and I'm one of the speakers. So this week I was working on actually finishing that presentation. I had lots of notes on notepads, I had lots of slides in PowerPoint, but I hadn't really refined it. And I have a smaller than I'm used to speaking slot, so it's a 30-minute slot with 20 minutes dedicated to the presentation and 10 minutes of Q&A. So that is quite a challenge because I'm used to speaking for either 45 minutes or an hour, so trying to get in all the message that I want to in 20 minutes is quite hard. But I've managed to get it down to 25. So I'm hoping that will be okay on the day, and if there's spillage afterwards in terms of Q&A, I can do that maybe in the hall or a speaker's corner. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that event. It'll be quite a good event. So yeah, if you are going, please come and join my session. I'm talking about how to modernise your IT strategy. So trying to impart some of the knowledge I have again around modernisation and data centre migration. So yeah, that'll be good fun. So that presentation is locked and loaded. I just need to kind of practice it now and run over it till the day. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one. I actually really enjoyed making that PowerPoint presentation. I went off-piste, so a lot of the time I will, I don't want to say steal, borrow might be a more appropriate word, slides from our marketing department and what our Microsoft corporate teams push out. And they're great slides, and they are usually full of great material. But this time I actually went off-piste and created my own, so fingers crossed. The attendees really like them because I was quite stoked with them at the end of it. So yep, that's another thing off the to-do list, so I'm quite pleased about that. Another thing that happened this week that I never thought was going to happen is I hit over 2,000 subscribers on Twitter. So a huge big thank you to everybody that is a follower on Twitter and interacts with me. I love the community. I love the kind of friendship that has developed on Twitter between me and my followers. And I hope you enjoy my content. Again, if you want to hit me up on Twitter, my Twitter is @TechieLass, and yeah, happy to have any discussions. My DMs are open if you have any questions or any feedback. But yeah, please do get in touch. Also this week, I've been doing some prep for the Glasgow Azure user group. We're having our 14th meetup next Wednesday on the 28th of August. So that's going to be really fun. We've got 2 speakers. So we have Thomas coming across from Germany, and he's going to be talking about hybrid identity, so Azure Active Directory. And we have Derek, who is a Glaswegian, and he's going to be speaking about Azure DevOps and Octopus Deploy. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. We've got some cool stickers, we will have pizza and drinks, and yeah, if you haven't got a ticket, please do sign up. They're totally free, and come along. We'd love to see you. We're always welcoming new faces, and we're a friendly bunch. So yeah, cool stickers, and we have prizes for a quiz. So we tend to have speakers socialising within our agenda, and then we have a wee quiz at the end. So yeah, we'll have 10 questions, and the winner of that quiz will get a book and a cup. So yeah, it's kind of worth coming along and getting a wee bit of free swag as well. So I'm looking forward to that. I can't believe we're at our 14th meetup now. I still remember our first one in a coffee shop in Glasgow. So yeah, it's come a long way. Thank you for all your support. Anyone that's been to the user group or spoke to it. Yeah, your support is very much appreciated on that one as well. The The other thing I've been working on this week is updating our documentation. So I'm sure you're all aware that the Microsoft documentation is all on docs.microsoft.com, and it's open source, so anybody can really contribute to it. If you see a spelling mistake, or if you want to add documentation that's missing, if you want to correct documentation that's out of date, you can do pull requests via GitHub and contribute to it. So I've been reviewing some of our cloud adoption framework, which is something new that we launched in July, around best practices for using the cloud. It's best practices taken from people like myself, other employees, our partners, and our customers as well. So it's a great one-stop shop for information that you need around adopting the cloud, and whether that be a lift and shift type migration, or if you're going completely greenfield and using Azure first. There's some great information there as well. I've been working on the migration piece and updating some of that. So yeah, it took a lot longer than I was expecting this week to do some of that, because I had to build up a lab and then take screenshots, and those things are never quick, unfortunately. But yeah, I've done some pull requests, and I've actually given myself more work to do now, because I've noticed some other documentation that's slightly out of date. So but yeah, it's great to actually feed back into that. It's great to scale my knowledge as well, so adding in knowledge there, because I'm only one person, I can't get around everybody, and I can't share to everybody at once. So being able to update the documentation and being able to share it so that everybody gets a slice of that knowledge is great. So if you see any documentation that's out of date, or if you see any holes in our documentation, please use the open source community to feed back into it. We'd really appreciate it. I think the last thing I probably want to talk about this week that I've been working on is my development plan. So it's our new financial year here at Microsoft, and yeah, it's that time of year where we set new goals and new challenges for ourselves on how to get better in terms of personal skills, technical skills, etc. So I've been thinking about that, been setting new goals for myself, been looking at what exams I can set this year, and yeah. So I've set some goals internally for myself, for my role, and being able to develop myself at Microsoft. I've also been working on some goals and challenges in my personal life as well. So yeah, I've got wee post-it notes in my office to try and keep me accountable to those goals that I've set myself. So yeah, hopefully I'll get them. And yeah, it's just all about that growth mindset that Satya talks about, and being better, and constantly improving and constantly asking how I can be better. It is a challenge, but I really do love that, and I really love learning and being able to share that knowledge back as well. So that's been built into my goals as well. So yeah, that's a kind of quick update and a quick roundup of what I've been doing this week. So hopefully, as I say, I'll be building on these weekly videos that I'll be releasing hopefully every Friday, and being able to share what I've been doing. If you want to feedback, if there's any questions, if I've done something that you think I can do better in these videos, if there's more information you want on anything that I've talked about, please hit me up in the comments or on my Twitter. And yeah, hopefully we'll be regular companions on Fridays, sharing and talking on these videos. Please do like and subscribe, as all good YouTubers say, to my videos, and I look forward to yeah, seeing you next week. Cheers, everybody.